Welcome back! No, I suppose I should be saying welcome back to me. Okay, remember we're going to do a doll sweater? Yay! And it's for MSD size dolls. So I'm going to use DK weight, DK, which is 3 light. But I'm using the 5mm, even though this says to use 4mm. We're going to use 5. And I'll tell you why as we go. I wanted a really stretchy sweater. Okay, so here's the thing. To make sure that you have enough, the right size, the right length before you put in your knot, you're going to put a slip knot in here somewhere along this whole mess of yarn. Slip knot. What we're going to do is I'm going to do that. Remember, I wanted 11 centimeters, which is about that much. Okay. You're going to take that times 3. Trust me, you're going to want the extra. So 11 centimeters times 3. So 33 centimeters, roughly, plus a little bit, because we're going to be sewing this on. Hold on, I'm moving the camera up a little bit. Okay. So, it's that much. Whatever. You just need to make sure that you have enough to cast on all your stitches, and then for sewing. Okay, so I'm going to do a slip knot, wrap around my fingers, and then I'm going to pull this through. Slip knot. One more time. Wrap around my fingers, pull this through. So I have a slip knot here. I'm doing German style or continental style knitting, but my cast on is also, I don't know what it's called, but we're basically just going to knit an entire row by casting it on in a certain way. Okay, so here's the yarn with the tail end, and that's coming straight back towards me. The yarn from the ball is at a 90-degree angle. Okay, now I'm going to make an L. Like you learn how left and right, you make an L, and you go inside. So now I have a rectangle. I'm going to take the yarn from the ball and the yarn from the tail end, and they will be in my hot little fingers right here. So, in order to cast on, this is what it should look like. You're going to take the yarn coming from your thumb and grab the yarn around your finger, pull it through, okay? Then let the yarn go from your thumb and grab it again. Magic. We're going to watch this a few times. 1, 2, pull it through, ready. So now I have 3 stitches on there. Now I have 4 stitches on there. Can we make it 5? Yes, we can make it 5. It is 5 stitches. And each one of these is already knit. It's already knit on there. So you're not going to have problems like sometimes if you just do like this and hook it on. You could cast on like that. But the problem is that it makes it a little tight. And this way you've already knit a row. So it's a lot easier to catch. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, now I've already gauged this out, which means I've already counted how many stitches it's going to take in order to get my 11 centimeters. Now, 11 centimeters here is not the same as 11 centimeters here. Okay? This is why I'm on circular needles. I'm on circular needles so that I can get an accurate measurement. Okay. What did I say? 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've decided to open the window for my cat. Even though you can hear like lawn mowing and cars and stuff outside. It's better than having a cat walk through here. Okay, so now I have 20. And I'm thinking 20 is probably going to be about right. Now I want a multiple of 4 because later when we go in for the sleeves and then when we take away some for the neckline, I want it to still be able to have some options. Multiple of 4. You can do a multiple of 2 also. It doesn't matter that much, but it's my preference. Okay, so let's measure it here. Here it says that it is 5.5 centimeters. Stretched out. Here it says that it is 10.5. 10 centimeters. Alright, so now I have to decide, do I do 2 more or do I do 4 more? Boop, boop, boop. Better too big than too small? Except not in this case because John is a skinny little boy. So I'm going to keep it at 20. 20 is good. And then I have enough yarn here to do the sewing up the side. Woohoo! Alright, now we're going to do a row. Actually, we're going to do 4 rows of knit 1, purl 1, ribbing. Knit 1, purl 1, ribbing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my yarn up here. I knit continental style, which is German style. Used to be called German until the war, and then they called it continental, and nobody ever changed the books because stubborn. Okay, so that means that I have the yarn in my left hand. You see? This is how I'm holding it. It's coming up off of the needles, off of my stitches, around the back of my finger, and then it's going down, and I'm holding it in the rest of my hand. It works, trust me. Okay, so I'm holding my everything together. This is my end. This is my ball yarn. So I'm holding it all together right here. That's my tension. Okay, I'm not going to be throwing the yarn around the top. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll get closer. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my needle through underneath the other needle. You see? And then I'm just going to wrap it around and pull that through. There's a kind of a twisting action. Now, this is a purl, so I'm going in the front and I'm pushing the yarn down and then pulling it off, sliding it off. Let's do that again. Try to flatten it a bit. I'll go in here, grab the yarn, slide off the stitch. On the front, I go in here, I push the yarn down, and I slide off the stitch. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but then once you start doing this, it can go very fast indeed. There are some people who are good at hooking it on the front, but I push it down. So whatever way you knit 1, purl 1, ribbing, that's what we're doing. And remember, I have 20 stitches on here. Okay, when I measured before, it was about 10 centimeters. That is actually going to stretch a whole heck of a lot. Like a lot. Because, alright, so ribbing always looks narrower than it is. Because you've basically got alternating your knit and purl nestled one inside the other. Knit 1, purl 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go back the other direction. Look, this is already extended out, and let's measure just by doing this. Look at that. I'm a little beyond 11 centimeters. Ooh, I guess 20 was right. Yay. Okay, we're gonna do 4. We've already gone across one way. Now we're gonna go back to the tail end. Okay, so we're gonna do knit 1, purl 1, ribbing on the way back, And you, after we do the ribbing, we are going to slip the first stitch. I'll show you how that works. For the ribbing, because it's really tight, it doesn't matter that much. So I'm just going to do this really fast. Ba-dum, ba-dum. And then I will probably pause the video. So let you guys catch up and let me catch up. So you can pause the video too. And I wish I knew how to do video editing with some fun little interlude in there, but I don't, so, well, okay. So now I have my first 2 rows of knit 1, purl 1 ribbing, and this is going to be the bottom of the sweater. Right now we're doing the bottom front. Okay, I'm going to pause and you guys do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will finish the other 2 right now. And now, look, woo, I have ribbing on the bottom of my sweater. Okay, so I have 4 rows of knit 1, purl 1 ribbing, and it's nice and stretchy, so it will go over any dolly's head and shoulders. Like, really, seriously, this is MSD, any MSD, this will fit. Alright, so remember I was saying I was going to fudge the numbers later on, and I'm totally going to do that right now. I'm going to do a little bit of an adjustment here. Remember I had 7.5. I'm actually going to move this up a little bit. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons why is I've decided that I want to have a lower neck. Okay, so the neck is going to be a little bit lower, which means that this is higher, which means that I want the sides higher. Trust me, this is going to be, it'll all work out. So in this one, I want to go, because this is 13.5, I'm going to make this, instead of 7.5, I'm going to make it 9. Okay, that means that I've got 4.5 centimeters here. Okay, which means that this on one end is going to be 5.5 centimeters. Pooh, because I remember there's a centimeter here. Okay, but now this is how I'm doing my pattern. Is I know that I've got this part, the ribbing is done. Okay, so now I just have to move up the sweater, and we're gonna do this in a straight block because dollies don't care what it feels like. Okay, so here's where you decide what you want your sweater to look like. If you're going to do cables, what you want to do is count how many you have here. Now I know I have 20, right? So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. If I'm going to do 20, then I need to do a chart. And I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 groups of 4. This is all going to be purl. This is going to be knit. Then I'll have 2 and 2, or this is going to be knit. See, this is why I like bigger ones. That's okay. 2, 2, and then a twist in the middle. Okay, so a twist in the middle. It'll look a little weird. But anyway, so you figure out your cable pattern here at this point. And if you're going to do a cable knit sweater, which I encourage you to try it, it really is not as hard as what most people make it out to be. A lot of people are like, wow, cable knit, that's like super advanced. Except it isn't super advanced. It's just, you know, you have to know how to knit in order to do it, and the rest of it's kind of self-explanatory. But this one I think I'm going to do straight up. We're going to do a stockinette stitch, which is just knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, purl a row. Okay, and you can do it that way. You can do garter stitch if you want to do garter stitch. Looks kind of like this. Okay, so this is knit a row, knit, 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 like knit every row, and it ends up looking like that. It's really super stretchy lengthwise. Okay, so if you have super big busted girl, her nip's gonna poke out if you do it this way. I mean, her nips might poke out the other way too, but anyway. And then when I was talking about cable knit, that is like this. This is a cable knit sweater. Alright, this one is, I think, 30, it's either 28 or 32, I can't remember, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 16, 20, 26, 32. So this is a 32. Okay. But I'm using much smaller needles. See, these are 3 millimeter instead of 5. Anywho, you decide what you want to do. I'm going to do a straight up stockinette stitch. So from here, I'm going to start slipping the first stitch and then knitting a row. Okay, so here I have a knit row. This goes really fast once you really get going in it, and when you don't have to constantly look in a camera to see if you're still in frame. Okay, here is my knit row, and then when I turn it, I am going to slip the first stitch purlwise. Okay, slip the first stitch that away, and then do purl along this row. Okay, so from here you are going to advance all the way up to those armhole measurements that we have. So I just changed mine, remember, so that I'm doing 9 centimeters instead of 7.5. Believe me, trial and error is the best way. Get ready to just pull out all your stitches every once in a while because you don't like it. Rather than keep going with something that might not fit or that you don't like, you know, suck it up. Pull it all out. It doesn't take that long. Obviously, it's not taking that long to do these. Okay. So now I have knit one row and purl one row, and you can see it's coming out as a standard stockinette knitting. I'm going to keep going until I am at 9 centimeters. So, pause time. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll stop this video and go start a new one once I get to 9 centimeters. Okay? So go ahead and get to this point, and then I will see you soon. Or you'll see me soon, I guess, because I'm not going to see you. This is a one-way video. If it was a two-way video, it'd be so cool. Think of that. We should probably just do a Zoom class sometime. Next idea, Zoom class.